Hey there, Marvel Legends fans, this is Wesatron. Today we're going to be taking a look at Hasbro's Return of Marvel Legends Wolverine action figure. This is from Series 4, I believe it is, and it is essentially a repaint of the SDCC X-Force box set Wolverine with silver highlights instead of gray. And he also includes a couple other changes. I've heard that he didn't have hair originally on his forearms and stuff like that. But for the most part, the same figure. Still got the red eyes and the X-Force costume and everything. This is the only version of Wolverine that's coming out this series. There's no variant planned for him. They are planning variants for, you can see in the background here, Archangel and She-Hulk. There will be an X-Force version and a Thundra, respectively. And then I think Protector will become Iron Fist, things like that. There's actually a lot of changes going on in this series. But yeah, I'll leave you to the internet to figure those out. Up here we've got some great art of Wolverine. But you can't really see that well, so I'll just flip it to the back. Here you can see him and the Sentinel in the background. Very nice art, dig it a lot. One interesting thing I've noticed is that it says collect the entire Hitmonkey series, but this is the first time on a Marvel Legends package from Hasbro that I've noticed it doesn't have any cross-sells at the bottom. Normally they have a picture of each character across the bottom, like, see if I've got one handy. Here's Iron Man. See all the characters on the bottom? Nothing like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting, something worth noting. So if you like that, that's gone. I don't know if that's permanent for the series. It's the only figure I've picked up so far. But yeah, let's get him out of package and see how he does. Here's Wolverine out of packaging, just doing a kind of a slicing, slashing pose. Really, I just really wanted to emphasize how deeply this guy can hold stances. Which, as you can see, I mean, it's like he's more or less doing the splits here and able to stand up under his own weight. So that's pretty awesome. This figure is very nice. I really, really like it. You know, I've probably got 1 trillion Wolverine figures by now, but, you know, this guy is definitely on the nice end of the spectrum. Now, I've heard some people say that this body is reused from something else, but I can't remember what it was. For some reason it's sticking out that they said it might be the brown costume from the Toy Biz days, but I don't know if that's right or not. I mean, I don't have mine out. It's kind of packed away right now, so I can't say for sure, but that would be pretty impressive if it was, if they went that far back. Yeah, figure's awesome. Let's take a look at his head sculpt close up, so you guys can get a good look. I hope there's enough light on that. You can see the silver is fairly nicely applied. The ears on the mask kind of curve back a little bit. Very similar to what he's doing in the comics these days. Move it a little bit. Get some light in there. There we go. You know, not a whole lot of paint detail on the face, just mostly skin tone and then the red eyes and then the silver of the mask. But it looks very nice. They did some piping on the mask to kind of increase that more modern look that the X-Force has, or had, because they've changed it again now. Is really dumb. I'm really tired of them changing the team. Every time I get used to it, they put a new person on there or change it 100%. Very, very nice detail work. The muscles all look fantastic. Very believable. These over here are cast in a really kind of almost Mattel-like they use in their WWE lines. That real natural-looking flesh plastic. Very, very cool. Paint detail on the arms. You can see on the forearms there, they painted some of the hair. Very cool. Nice big buckles on the wrists, the gloves, and on the boots, which is very indicative of the X-Force style. Very cool. Individual claws, which this one is a little bit off, but not by much, and it's not enough to deter me from thinking this is a great idea. This is awesome. I really like that they've tried this. Some people had said in the X-Force, in the SDCC set, that these were removable. I can see that they wiggle a little bit, but so far I do not see them coming out. So they may, but I have not gotten them out yet, and I'm kind of nervous about tugging on them too much, you know. X-Force logo, very nice. The silver here on the hips, for some reason it's really wavy coming right out of the hip. It straightens out a little bit as it goes down, but for whatever reason right here, it's a little wacky. Not sure why that is. This one's a little straighter. Back of the figure looks great. Very, very nice. As I said, the boots look great. Peg holes on the bottom. No detail on the bottom, but that would be my food. But you can see here, like, the sides of the boot and everything. Very nicely done, nice texturing. Everything looks really great. So articulation-wise, we are looking at a hinged neck. Goes back that far, forward that far. No ball that I can discern on the end of the neck. There's no tilt action whatsoever. There is turning left and right. And that's very tight in doing that. It could be that this is an old Toy Biz body, because Hasbro, for the most part, has tried to do the ball and the hinged heads for as long as I can remember. We've got lateral pectoral movement, so you can see his arms go backwards about that far. I think is about as far as they're going to go. You can see that. And then the shoulder push forward about that far. Those were a little tough. I'm a little nervous that the plastic isn't free in there, that I'm just tearing these apart, but we'll see. But you can see by having those joints, you can get some really cool, like, drawn back poses like Wolverine tends to do. Very, very cool. I dig that. We've got swivel hinge shoulders, so of course they go all the way around. And they hinge out with a ratchet joint to about there, which is cool. We've got swivels in the biceps, double hinged elbows. So first point gets you to about there. Second point, if I can get it to bend. There we go. Second point will only get you to about there. So not a perfect 90 degrees by any means. Let me see. See if I can. There we go. That one moved a little more. There we go. A little better than 90 degrees. I knew that joint would move. It's been a little stiff. We've got swivel hinges in the wrists, so they go all the way around, and then they hinge outwards very nicely and inwards very nicely, which is awesome for Wolverine, you know, get those claw poses. We've got a ball-jointed midsection, so it goes forward and back, and I don't feel rocker side to side. Like, I'm moving it, but it's not moving on its own. So, oh, there's some twist there now. So a little twist action in there, and then forward and back, but it doesn't look like side-to-side tilt. But as far as the rocking forward, you can go about, move his arm out of the way, you can go about that far forward, and about that far back. So not bad. We've got a swivel in the waist, all the way around, of course. We've got swivel hinges at the hips, and although they look like the newer joint that Hasbro's been using lately, they are at the 45-degree angle, so you do have to twist them. You can see how the joint goes up into the body there. You may not be able to see that, but there's a peg that goes up into the body. So you have to actually turn the leg first and then push it up, and then swivel the thigh if you want the leg to go forward. So it's a little tricky to use. It's definitely a learning curve you have to get used to, but it's not the worst thing in the world. As I showed you, we have swivels in the thighs. They go all the way around. Double hinge knees. First point, if I can get it to move, there we go. Very stiff joints for the most part. About 90 degrees on the first joint. Second joint gets you a very nice bend. Very cool. We've got swivels in the boot tops, which go all the way around. This one's a little tough on mine. And then we've got hinged ankles that go back about that far. Forward, I do have a little problem with the buckles here. So forward, I'm only getting it about that far, which is not much at all. Like, that's flat foot, that's a little forward, so not great on the forward. But then we've got the great Hasbro rocker, which is very cool because in addition to this, you can get kind of a really curved stance there, but then you can turn at the boot top and it becomes flat-footed. So that's very cool. I mean, it's very easy for him to take flat-footed stances, even though he's, you know, bent far out. So if I can pull back a little bit, let's see. Very cool. That's super easy to do. It's not like a chore to try and get that pose to work out. I dig that. So I got this from Big Bad Toy Store for $14.99. He, I think, is a highly packed figure, like at least 2 per case. Just making sure that's moving freely. So he is going to be a little bit more available, hopefully, because he is a great action figure, very cool. Yeah, I dig him. He was bound to come with, no, actually he doesn't. That's good to know. He doesn't come with a Build-A-Monkey piece. The other figures do. Maybe that's why we don't have the cross cells on the back. But he does not come with a Build-A-Monkey piece. So, there's no accessories or anything else that comes with him. You get Ghost Rider in here so you can kind of see. He's not as short as he should be, which a lot of people have pointed out. Oops. You know, I'm probably going to leave him in a crouching position anyway, as best as I can with the ankles, to kind of make him work. But, yeah, definitely not as short as he should be, but still an outstanding looking figure. But for 15 bucks, you get a greatly articulated figure who's got nice paint apps. I don't really have anything negative to say about the figure. I wish the hips were the modern hips, but, you know, you don't always get what you want. You know, you should listen to the Rolling Stones when they tell you things. They're usually right. Yeah, 15 bucks at Big Bad Toy Store. Shipping wasn't bad. I got it with the pile of loot, so... yeah, definite buy. Pick it up if you get the chance. If you're an X-Force fan, highly recommend it. I mean, he's the leader of 2 out of the 3 teams that they've shown in the last few years, so definitely a must-have for your collection. Thanks a lot. If you have any questions, put them in the box below. I'll be glad to answer them as long as they're within my power to answer. If they're not, I will certainly lie to you and pretend like it's the truth anyway. So, good on both of us. That's it. Thanks a lot, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.